Hello everyone. Today I have an interesting interview with Lupo and Beast. Hello guys, how are you?
Hello.
Yo.
All good.
Nice,
Yeah.
perfect. So we're going to talk a bit about everything. The Seed One, the Seed Two. We're going to make an interview with them about the old aspects of the game because they are players that played since a while. So yeah, let's start with you, Lupo. Tell me a bit about yourself. Tell me when do you start playing the game.
I started playing at the very beginning of 2018. There was still the Christmas event from 2017 going on.
Yeah.
And I've been a mod since 2022. It's been over a year now. And yeah, I also am the owner of the Italian server, and people from the Italian community know me.
Tell me, why did you want to become a moderator? Was there any other moderator in Italy, or you are the first one?
I'm the first one. I'm still the only one from the Italian community. But I joined because I feel like at the time I felt like I was running into trolls on almost a daily basis. And however, at the time, moderation was a bit different, and people had to become Discord mods first. And I was not very interested in that. I was offered to become a moderator, but I initially refused. And then eventually, when they opened the applications for becoming only game mods, I accepted, and I'm now a mod.
Also, you were offered. It's not that you wanted to be at the first place, it's that someone came and offered you the spot.
Yes, correct.
Okay, I see. And tell me a bit about the Italian community. Do you there is there a lot of
It,
players? Tell me a bit
Not
about that.
really, no. It's always been quite small. The server hasn't been very active in a while. There's been a time when a lot of people were playing in general. It was around the lockdown time, and we've had quite a few people coming in. Now it's not big, but there's also one other Italian guy who's a translator, so we've got
Who is the
a couple of people here and there.
who's the translator?
Finn.
Okay,
I am Best. I'm a senior mod and deceit content creator. I started playing, I think it was November 2018. So it was like during the Infinite Halloween event, whenever that was. And I believe I started moderating sometime in 2021, like early 2021. So it's been about 2 years. And back then, I really enjoyed interacting with the community, and I think 2020 that was like after the big update to the game, the first one, or a few of them.
the rework, right?
Yeah, the rework, and I was enjoying the Discord, well, as much as you could with how many angry people were in there, and I was just being helpful a lot in there, and eventually was approached for becoming a moderator, and I accepted, and I have loved moderating since then.
Let me ask you a question. Did you become a moderator before Primal?
No, I think Primal was a mod before me. I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. And why you became a moderator in the first place?
I enjoyed interacting with the community, and especially like a lot of people who became mods, they saw how in game there was a lot of like toxicity and bad actors, and wanted to make the scene at least a percentage better if they could. So that's pretty much why.
That's great. You both play ranked, right? You both, I mean, you're not playing right now, right? But you played before, right?
Yes, I haven't played in a while, but I was very active in ranked. Played, I think I got top 10 about 6 times, and I just, after the 2 extra tokens that did nothing, I was just like, yeah, there's no more point in playing anymore. But I still uh am kind of looking at the ranked community more often in the past few months, and still like try to interact with it a little bit, even if I'm not playing in game. So, yeah.
What about you, Lupo?
I started playing ranked as soon as I started with the seat, and I played it for a while around 2018, 2019. Then eventually I would be playing casual during events, and because it was much more chill, I just started playing casual only, and since then I haven't really touched ranked.
Okay, let me ask you a question for the both of you, right? You played before the rework when there was the legacy and the maps were much bigger and you could go outside, for example, in Arctic to the snowy parts. You have the lamb yard, which was way bigger. What do you think about that transition? Did you like it at the first? Uh, what about that? Tell me, because I have not played myself, right? I have played a few legacy matches, but I have not felt that transition, and it's something that we're having right now with the Seed 2, right? Because I understand that there was a beta also as well on those times. So tell me a bit of that. So what do you guys think of that rework, and how do you feel like it at the time?
Well, there's been many intermediate stages of that rework, and some of them were better, some others were not as good. I think that the idea that was behind it made sense because they wanted to uh, increase the way new players would perceive the game. I don't know if it has worked. I honestly liked both versions, the new one and the legacy one. But yeah, I think it had sense, but at the same time, devs at the time were only working on events, and sometimes some events were skipped. So I don't know if it was the most necessary thing ever. I questioned that a few times, but I don't think it turned out terribly. I think it's a very different game, but I enjoyed both versions, definitely.
Okay, what about
Yeah.
you? Best?
There were, yeah, quite a lot of changes in that time, and some of them were good, some of them were terrible. Like, I think especially the voting at that time was very bad, and their experiments with the, like, instead of the fuse box system, like staying in those little circles and swiping as terrors were pretty bad, but they were experimenting with different things that worked. Um, to get this final product of Deceit where it is now, and I think it's in a good stage now. I like both Legacy and the current Deceit.
That's good.
There were a lot of changes that they made that were good, or they were just like fine. They didn't make too much of an impact, and people absolutely hated like any change, which I don't think was fair. Like I think they were just trying to see what worked. It might have been better if they did like those changes on like a beta before bringing them to live. I don't think it would have made so much of a difference. It would have made an impact as much as it did to the like player count at the time. But yeah, I think both versions are good. I think they made some good changes that make it different but still fun.
Do you think the same questions and the same harshness it's being applied now on the Seed 2?
Um, I don't think people are. Well, it's very different. It's incredibly different, and I don't think people should see it as like, even though it's named Deceit 2, I think people should view the game as like a reimagining of Deceit 1. Like, if they started making Deceit 1 at this point now, instead of like a continuation. Um, and I think a lot of people would like not have as much criticism if they did that, because there's a lot of, it's very different, and there's a lot of changes that just don't even exist in Deceit 1, so we can't even like compare it as well. But yeah.
So you feel like it's not a continuation, it's more like the same game but with very different aspects, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, let me first of all, let's see what do you do on a daily basis in moderation, because maybe what I've seen so far is that there are many new moderators upcoming because of the situ and because of there's going to be a lot of players playing the game, and making having 9-player lobbies are going to require more moderators, and also with the release, so they're adding lots of moderators of different communities, right? So let me ask you this: for anyone that wants to be a moderator, tell me what do you do on a daily basis, right? When you are trying to moderate the scene.
Well, it just depends because all moderators are they're all like volunteers. So you can basically choose what you want to do in a day. Like even if like on days where you might not have time, you can just not do anything, and it's a volunteer job. You don't you're not forced to do anything. But if you like, I would say like the average moderator might like check reports and well, depending on what type, like if they're just a game mod, then yeah, check reports and check with like Discord reports and in-game reports for the most part, and Discord mods, interacting with the community, helping people with problems, and and those who have the ability to uh, would check appeals, making sure that those people uh, like genuinely deserve to be unbanned or not. And yeah, just a lot of that, just checking reports and stuff like that. That's like the main thing
Are
for
there
moderators.
are there sometimes debates with other moderators on
Yeah,
earlier?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What about
There's a lot of debates depending on like the situation, especially with like reports in the Discord for the report bot. Um, there are debates frequently. If it's not completely clear whether something is happening or not, we'll usually call on some other mods to ask their opinions on stuff. And yeah, it's very it's a lot. It's very helpful to ask the other mods, so get a better clue
yeah.
in on the situation.
Yeah, so it's like any other moderation group, right? It's not like my
Mhm.
report, my answer is like maybe another experienced mod. Let's look at this. Maybe we can debate. Let's maybe help me here. What do you think about this? Maybe someone is more inclined to ranked, like for example you two that play ranked. Maybe I can take this report. It's a bit more tricky, and that's good, right? What about you, Lupo? What do you do on a daily basis? Is the
Yes,
same?
I would. Yeah, I would say there's no routine, but we all go through reports. I think there's a bit of difference because some people have their DMs closed, and the not so many people that have their DMs open will get a lot of DMs. So I'll usually check reports from DMs way more often than I'll, for example, check the report bot. But
Mhm.
there's plenty of other people who do the exact opposite, and then yes, mostly in-game reports. Well, I mean, all the new mods, we follow them very carefully, and we make sure that they we're all on the same page, that they've understood everything well. I would say for people that want to become mods, the important is to know what it means to have a responsibility of banning someone, that we cannot just uh, stop at the first thing that comes up to our mind and say, oh, I think that this person is breaking the rules. I'm pretty sure, so I ban him. No, we need to be certain. We have a responsibility. We cannot give false bans. And so it's very important for people that want to join that have that sense. Then, of course, there's a bunch of things that are needed. Like if you're brand new to the game, you probably don't have very high chances of getting selected. If you have a lot of bans, you have a very low chance of getting selected. But those are quite obvious.
Okay.
So yeah.
What about you, Best? Because you were here since a long time, right? You were here since moderating since 2020, you said, right?
Yeah, 2020 or 2021, one of them.
Do you feel like you have a bit of more importance in terms of helping new moderators and like because right I in my opinion what I see from outside, right? If I'm a new moderator, I want to learn from you, from your path and what you did, right? Do you feel like you have a bit more of importance in terms of helping new moderators, or you feel like you're in a good place right now where everyone is helping each other and you don't feel that need of trying to help someone new?
Yeah, not necessarily. Everyone, pretty much everyone else just helps each other. I will help if someone comes to me with a problem, but um, a lot of other mods have become more active. Like I haven't been as active because I've got like schoolwork and actual work and doing like content. So yeah, I'm not as active as other mods. So when other mods want to step in and help the newer people, that's always nice, and they probably can do a better job than me. Just because I've been doing it a long time doesn't mean I know any more or less than some of the other mods who are very hardworking.
Let's talk a bit about the Seed 2 now, because I know you guys played the beta and the alphas. I know you guys want to play the Seed 2 when it releases, and I know you guys have many ideas about the game. So let's talk a bit about that, about the Seed 2. What do you guys like? What do you guys maybe don't like? What do you guys want maybe to change or to keep in the Seed 2?
I definitely like the variety that we have right now, both in terms of tasks, but mostly about items. I think the game has yet to be figured out. So I don't know if in some time from now there will be some metas and everyone will do the same exact thing. But as of now, I'm enjoying how everyone gets to uh, have his own playstyle and use items that he prefers. Some of the things that I don't like, I think that are going to be worked on. For example, I don't like movement right now. I feel a bit hindered. I don't feel smooth. I don't feel. I wouldn't say that the seat one was frenetic, but it definitely had an extra element of movement that I feel like is missing yet on the seat two.
Do you feel like the Seed 2 is a bit more like legacy on the regard of movement, or do you feel it's completely different?
It's just a whole different thing. I feel like I just feel a bit slow. I don't know. It's not as smooth as I want it to be, but I think that it will be worked on. It's one of those things that I believe will change.
What do you think about the in between night? Because at least what I've seen so far, and with the tons of people I speak with, they don't like too much the mandatory kill on regards of the infected need to kill an innocent to move on to the next night. What do you think on that? Do you agree on it? Maybe,
Well,
yeah.
yes, I mean, I was hoping that there would be some sort of scenario where 90% of times you get one kill, and then maybe you've got the 5% of times where you can get two, and you've got the other 5% of times where nobody gets killed.
Hmm.
However, there's no good way to implement that, I think. The only way would be to recreate something similar to how the seat one is, but even then, how do you make the second kill? How do you make it so that you are not gonna have zero kills half of the times, or you're not gonna have two kills half of the times? The idea, I mean, it would be good, but I don't know how it can be realized. So I think it's fine that as it is now. It's not a big deal, honestly. But yeah, I agree that it could have been different. Just I don't know how.
What do you think about the situation? Best?
I'm enjoying it. I like a lot of the deception things like different items and like the generator being able to be sabotaged, like things like that. I really enjoy. Um, it got very I wouldn't say boring, but like repetitive for Deceit, because there you can only really just like for Deception. There's not much like you just like see people drink or scan them or like there's not as much as there is in Deceit 2 with like different like alarms or the clipboard stuff like that. I'm really enjoy the changes that they made with that. I something I don't like as much is it's not very the nighttime isn't very balanced as you said, and there's also like the problem of people grouping up uh, since you can talk to and see people if you're close.
Mhm.
So yeah, there was a lot of grouping up, and it was kind of hard for the infecteds to be able to be clear. So I just hope that they make changes to that in the next beta or in release, so that I just want the game to be balanced and fun, and grouping up is very boring and unbalanced. So I'm interested in seeing what they do with that to make it better.
That's great. What are your favorite item on the issue that man that you like to use on the betas and the alphas?
I didn't get to use too many items this past beta. I only played like 4 hours, so I didn't unlock them all. But I think in the alphas when everything was unlocked, it was really fun experimenting with the different things. I don't know if I had a favorite. I like the fact that you can lock someone down with a ball and chain.
Oh yes, yeah, yeah.
I remember I went up to there was a developer in one of the games in the alpha, and I put a ball and chain on him, and you know that's always fun. Just it's pretty troll, but yeah, fun things like that, and whatever more sandboxy items that they add, it's always gonna be fun, like experimenting with different like combinations of them. So I don't know if I have a favorite. I like all the new stuff and playing with it.
Yeah, and the good thing about the Situ is that there is infinite possibilities on what you choose and what it's. I don't think it's going to be a meta because of how many items there are for you to choose and for you to implement in different games, right? What about you, Lupo? What's your favorite item so far?
Well, I've also used quite a few of those handcuffs and ball and chains. I don't think they ever helped me, but it was quite fun. Except from that, the good ones, I think, for the mask, if you're infected,
The
and
mask, yeah.
I also feel like that the back scanner is very good. I only got to use it once, and it was completely useless that one time that I used it. But I feel like right now, if I were to play, I'd pick those. Well, one if I'm infected, the other if I'm innocent. But
The
solid
mask,
picks, I think.
the back scanner is really good because if you scan someone with the mask, you know he's probably
Yeah,
infected, right? I mean, the
yeah.
mask is it's a very infected item to have on your repertoire. So having the mask and you getting the scanner for that, it's going to be very helpful for you. Let's close the interview here with a final question. I want to ask you guys, what would you recommend for a new player that has not played the Seed 1 and wants to play the Seed 2? What would you recommend for him to start playing? Maybe you will recommend him to play a bit of the City One. What are your thoughts on that? What would you tell him?
Well, you should play with friends first of all, and well, the seat two is not out yet, so they've got plenty of time to try the seat one. And even if the games are very different, I think that it is a good opportunity to get familiar with the game. They should definitely try it.
Nice. What about you, Best? What would you tell them? Because you have a lot of the City followers, and most of them are going to probably try the City 2, but all of them come from the City 1. So what would you tell not only the players, your community overall? What would you tell them?
Yeah, I think those to the like Deceit 1 players, go into Deceit 2 with an open mind. It's not going to be completely the same. There's a lot of differences, and make sure to play. Yeah, try to play with friends. It's always more fun. I think it's how most people end up playing Deceit for the first time. It's like they get invited by some friends or find a game and figure out that it's good to. It's a fun party game to play with friends. So try to play with friends for Deceit 2. Try to keep an open mind, and yeah, just try to have as much fun as you can, because like that's the whole point of Deceit 2. And they've made it a lot more fun at starting out, at least I think, than Deceit 1. So
Yeah, that's great. So thank you very much for accepting the interview, and thank you very much for joining me on this quick interview about everything of the seed. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching.